Next we're going to talk about what are we using this form for, and then we can talk about the settings icon here at the top. Before I get started, I'm going to use this form for a training. So underneath my title, I can go ahead and kind of give some directions here. I'll keep it quick. And that just tells whoever receives the form kind of what's going on and what I'm expecting them to do. Now, by default, they put your first question in here, and it just happens to be a multiple choice question. I always delete that because I want to be able to start from scratch. But let's talk about the settings. If you come up to the top and click on the gear icon or hover over it, it will say settings. And when you click it, there are three things that we can go into: general, presentation, and then quizzes. For this particular form, I'm not going to be using it as a teacher, so I am not going to be making it a quiz. So this tutorial won't touch on quizzes, but I could make it a quiz if I just toggle that switch. And then I can talk about locking the quiz for students, but that we can do that at a different time. If this was a quiz, I would have to assign point values to the questions. Back in general, I can click to collect email addresses. I can get response receipts. What does that mean? Well, if I hover over the question mark, respondents receive a copy of their responses. They know what they answered, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. You can restrict it to just the users in your domain, or you can unclick that. And I have people outside of the domain, so I'm going to unclick it. And I only want them to respond once, so I'm going to click that. I don't want them responding more than once. But they can edit after they submit it. If they want to change their mind on something, they can, so I'm going to check that box. And then see summary charts and text responses. I'm going to leave that unchecked. They don't need to see a summary of what they are doing, but if you wanted them to, you could check it. At the bottom, I'm going to hit save. And that takes care of the first piece of settings. Now I'm going to go back in and go to the presentation piece. There's a progress bar that goes along the bottom. If you use sections in your Google form, you can use the show progress bar, and it lets the person filling out the form understand how much more they have to go.
You want to hear the crazy thing? I know it doesn't feel like it, but we're making progress.
You can shuffle the question order. In this case, I want the questions to go in my order, so I'm going to leave that unchecked also. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a confirmation message in. And I'm going to hit save once that's in. That takes care of our settings.